Hey guys, welcome to the tutorial. I'm going to do a quick rundown of our Aurin website and how it works. The Australian Urban Research Infrastructure Network. Now it's a relatively new website, but it's loaded with information. So to access it, just jump on, just click the portal there. And if you're with any of the affiliated universities, your university login, username and password will work. And you will arrive at this screen. You guys might be a bit further out if it's the first time you've used it. Zoomed a little bit further out at least, but because I've sort of done some work on here before, it's saved the last time I was on it. So the basic workflow of it is that you select an area, and now these areas start as broad as Australia, and slowly you obviously break it down to your states, and then you can break it down into your local LGAs, which is what we'll be looking at today, but there's other options you can choose, suburbs, whatever you think is relevant to whatever project you're using it for. So sticking with Maribyrnong, and I think you can actually break it down a little bit further, but we'll leave it at Maribyrnong for the moment. So that's the first step. So selecting an area of interest for yourself. The next one will be selecting a data set. So this is just all the data sets you can choose from. So there's a massive range of stuff. This is gathered from census information from local government areas. So it's got things from trees, water, rivers, roads, rail, bicycle networks. It's got zonings. It's got stacks of information. So I think it's got down to like numbers of dwellings in number of people and who reside, all that sort of stuff, all the general information which you get from the census. So it's up to you to sort of, I guess, mine it and go and check it out. So in this case, or in this example, what will be using from contours, and I've chosen the Vic Metro contour 1 to 5 Vic map elevation. And if you want to follow along, then you click on the altitude, and you also click on the geometry. So what this will attach the information. Generally, what you want to always do is choose the geometry. So what that will do is a vector geometry, which we can then either visualize on the Aurin website, or we can download later and layer up in a GIS software, and then we could later put into CAD, Rhino, or Max, and I'll show you how to build a terrain basically out of the information which we download here. So you can click on the altitude and click on the geometry, and then you can click add and open. Now I've already done that, so I'm not clicking on that, I'm just closing it. But then what we can do from there is, now this might take a little bit of time. We'll display on the map, but it's quite a bit of data that comes with the 13 megabytes. That's okay. Roll the dice. With the contours, there's obviously quite a few. They're quite detailed, so it does become quite a heavy file. And I might, let's see how it's going. I might just pause the video. Oh no, I need to. So that's come up pretty quickly. So that's the contour mapping of well, it's a little bit extended areas of Maribyrnong. And you can see here on this column here, the altitude column, that is the height of the contours. So I guess you could see the river, and it does, it's up, I'm guessing that'd be in meters, maybe, I'm not sure, but we can quantify, yeah, I'm sure we can find out. So what we can do next is we can actually start to build a bit of a map. Just give me one more. Righto, now, sorry guys, now what we'll just run through is we'll run through putting on a chloropleth. How you do that is you click that button there, that'll bring up this. So what we want to do is we're going to map visualizations and chloropleth. So now what we want to do is you choose our what data set we want to visualize, because we've only chosen or selected one data set. That's the only one that's available. We did choose a few different attributes, so what we want to visualize it, by probably altitude. So anyone's a really distinguishing feature, I guess, and we can then go and choose at what point, how many different classes we want to then make. We can kind of do whatever there because there's going to be a lot of different altitude or contours, so that should be fine. That's just sort of visualize it, but at the moment I'm not sure, it's not working on this computer, but hopefully you'll have more success on yours. We'll go and add and display, and basically this should give you a series of different, or give you something of like a height field map of some sort. Not a height field, but at least break it down into different heights, which it has done here, but for some reason doesn't want to visualize it the way that it shows it here. Obviously these colors aren't the most conventional, but you can go through and choose that and be more specific about it. But this is not how it should be visualized at the moment. It should be a far greater range of colors, so hopefully you have more success than what I've had here. Anyway, I might leave it there for the moment. What I'll do is I'll come back and I'll go through downloading some of this information and then loading it into a GIS system, and then how we can then take that information out and turn it into some information so we can start building some 3D terrain, and taking out maybe the street networks or any other information that you want to download, blocks or mesh blocks or something like that. So